Welcome everyone to the World Indigenous Forum 2020. This is your host, Giampaolo Parigi, and today I will speak to you about marketing and social media. We will debunk marketing. We'll see what marketing is and why it should not be confused with other forms of communications like advertising and public relations. Let's see why media marketing is relevant and what channels best suit your business. So, marketing is not a science. Marketing is an art. This is important for you to know beforehand because there is a fine, subtle element to marketing that cannot be exactly and mathematically defined. It has to do a lot with who you are, the type of approach that you have with your customers, the type of style that you want to transmit to your clients, the type of spirit that you want to associate with your products or services. And again, there are so many subtle differences and nuances in the way products and services are received and perceived by their end users that make it impossible to put a definition of exact science around marketing. As any activity that has to do with human beings is imperfect, and you will have to hone your skill on a daily basis to better not only your products and services, but also the way that you bring these products and services with your marketing to your public. Now, if I can use a metaphor, whereas public relations is the diplomacy, marketing is the army. Public relations use a soft approach, a gentle approach. It doesn't directly involve selling. Marketing's only purpose is for you to generate sales. So you have to sell. If the marketing strategy that you have devised doesn't lead you to sales, well, it isn't a good marketing strategy. So you will have to tweak it, revise it, overhaul, change it, or abandon it and design a new one. How many types of marketing we could do? Well, that depends on if we want to sell directly or if we want to sell indirectly through other people, through other entities, through third parties. Normally, the selling directly to consumer involve the manufacturer or the producer transferring the products directly to the buyer, the consumer, the ultimate entity that will utilize this product. The indirect marketing foresees two models: the selling through retailers and the selling through wholesalers. The selling through retailers is a shorter chain because there's only the producer, the retailer, and the consumer. Whereas in the second possibility, in the second alternative, we have a wholesaler right after the producer. The wholesaler normally is a master distributor in a particular area, macro area, large region, or even country or group of countries. And the wholesaler would sell smaller portions of your products or services to retailers, which in turn re-subdivide these portions in even tiniest units or portions to the ultimate consumers. Now, in terms of channels, the world has evolved to a wide variety of channels for our marketing. In the past, we had advertising through radio and televisions, newspapers, in general, the mass media were those. With the advent of the internet, digital marketing came to the foreplay, and an enormous variety of alternatives have been possible for strategic marketing to deploy its effects and enhance the result of the marketing strategy. Nowadays, we can do marketing like they used to do it in the old days through, let's say, the traditional media, radio, TV networks, and magazine newspapers, or we can use this in conjunction with the online, the so-called digital marketing that we can do through the internet, or we can only use the online marketing to promote products. As the cost of the traditional advertising and marketing versus the online advertising are in favor of the online, most smaller companies, startups, artisans, retailers directly opt for the marketing online because it allows to not only reduce and contain the cost, but also to go very granular on the customers that we want to reach and to profile and subdivide clusters of interest for our products, and even subclusters, even niches of potential customers or clients that are interested in our products and services. And it allows us to reach them at a fraction of the cost that normally associated with utilizing traditional marketing channels. Again, the marketing strategy, it's very important. Before we end up selecting the channels, we have to think thoroughly and deeply about our marketing strategy. The marketing strategy has to communicate the value that the consumer or the client will receive through the product or the service that they are going to purchase, for which they are going to pay a price. So it is very important that the benefits to the consumer, to the ultimate end users, are very clearly defined and identifiable. And one of the purposes of the marketing strategy is to give relevance to those benefits so that they are immediately resulting as clear in the minds of the end users that are supposed to pay a price to utilize these products or services. So I cannot repeat enough that your utmost and undivided attention has to go to this fundamental aspect of your overall enterprise strategy. Because you may be very good in the financial strategy, you could be a very good manufacturer or producer, but if you do not have a good marketing strategy, your efforts will be depotentiated and your results may be hampered in that, your target will not be reached, either your target in terms of ultimate clients for your products or the quota of sales that you want to reach for a predetermined amount of products that you are manufacturing or for services that you want to provide. So very, very important to concentrate on a good marketing strategy. And again, I've found in my career that too often, unfortunately, entrepreneurs, when challenged with the provocation of thinking about the marketing strategy, begin to think of the channel that they have to use or the channels that they have to use. They associate the marketing strategy with the channel. But again, one is the strategy. The channels provide a means for your tactics to be deployed. So The channels per se don't have anything to do with your strategic thinking and how you see the relationship between you, your products or services, and your clients or customers. And this is I would say, the role of the strategy, the role of the marketing is to provide a basis, a platform for you to lay out the idea, the spirit that you have imbued in your products and services, and to communicate efficiently these ideas of the services, the value that you have embedded in the products and in the services to the customers. So it's very, very important for you to stay concentrated when you design a marketing strategy and resist the urge of going too much in the tactical part, because obviously the tactical part will have a direct impact on your budget, on your wallet, if you will, because it will determine, how much you have to spend to activate the particular channels. But do not allow that component in this moment when you are designing your strategy to distract you from the determination of the strategy itself, because otherwise you would not see the forest for the trees. Again, now, the marketing strategy, you imagine to have it defined. And one thing that you could do is that you can bounce it off other people, possibly expert in your line of businesses, or even with some of the clients that you have, and see how it resonates with them, what you're planning to launch as a marketing strategy. I mean, do some pilot tests is always a good way for you to determine whether or not what you have been thinking is as effective as it sounds to you, and as clear as it sounds to you, even to others. And again, it would cost you just a tiny budget, but it would, get you a long way in terms of feedback and the possibilities to tweak, to adjust, trim your determinations and your decisions, so that you can then finally launch a full marketing campaign with the most effective methodology and the most efficient way, and hopefully receiving the best results that you can get for this particular product that you are promoting in that particular time. Now, going to the channels. In marketing, we have to identify the components of the marketing. Traditionally, we have spoken in the past of the 4 Ps, and they were the product, the price, the place, the promotion. These 4 Ps have become, in the years, more Ps, and several different experts have been enjoying, adding up to the pictures and a few paintbrushes here and there to make it a more varied. I think we can stay with 7 Ps all in all in our marketing mix in this container, virtual container that should contain our ideas on how to bring our products to the market. And again, those 7 Ps would be still the old 4 Ps that we had in the past, and 3 new ones. So we would have the price, we would have the place, we would have the presentation of the product, the physical evidence of the product, we would have the process, we would have the people, we would have the promotion, and last but not least, we would have the product at the base of everything. So let's start from the latter, the product. Again, once we have determined what it is that we want to bring to the market, we have to begin to work on the other components, on the other Ps. I would still like to say something about the product itself. I think it's always good if you can do this exercise, if you can zoom out, distance yourself from your own creations, and try to look at them with an objective eye as much as humanly possible. Of course, you are the creator, you're the founder. So this is a difficult exercise, but try to accomplish what I'm asking you to do at this moment, because it will help you a great length when you move forward. Try to see if what you're preparing, what you're manufacturing, what you are creating as a product really has a need in the market, and if there are customers or clients for this particular product. Again, it's all time well spent. Even if you have to backtrack and go back to the drawing board at this moment of your planning, it's always less expensive than if you had to do changes later on down the road. So, but now let's assume that the product has been determined and you are clear and you're positive, you're convinced that there is an audience, there is a market, there is a catchment area for your product. So the second level, we want to think about how to promote this product to the market. The third level would be the people that have to promote this product to the market. You know, many companies want to transmit their style and their spirit even through the people that they employ or they hire to do the sales and marketing. And this attention to the details goes even to the smaller aspects of the way the people, the employees or the staffs are dressed. What's the dress code? What's the overall style of the appearance that they have to convey to the public? Because, you know, everything that they are representing is transmitted through their motions, through their gestures, through the way they speak, the way they present, and the way they dress for their ultimate customers. So, you know, there's a lot of attention on how you want to utilize the people aspect as a function of what you have decided to transmit in terms of values to the market. A fourth P would be process, how you want to rev the engines and put all the, you know, powertrain in motion so that the product, you know, finally reaches the market. The fifth P that we would consider is the presentation of the product, the physical evidence, the packaging. How will this product appear in the hands of the consumer, whether it is a physical product, which is inside a physical package, or it is an intangible product, like an application or a consulting service that is delivered in an intangible form, but that still will achieve tangible results. The sixth P that you again want to consider is the place, the location where you are going to affect the sales. Are you going to sell in your store? Are you going to sell through a chain of stores? Are you going to sell through offices? Are you going to sell on the street? Are you going to sell online? Are you going to sell in all of these forms and more? So you'll have to determine what's the best combination and as a result, and what your budget is, and what your personal convictions and overall business philosophy is. And last but not least, we have reached the discriminating point, the price. You know, you will have to tag a price to your products, and on your ability of calculating the correct price, you will, gamble a lot of your business success or failure. Because if you price the product too high, you're gonna go out of the market, so to speak. And if you price too low, you may have many customers and many clients, but you may incur costs. And the more you produce, the deeper this cost will dig your grave. So you will have to be very attentive as to price your products conveniently well for you, but also for the customers. It has to be a win-win situation. The company that you're running must be capable not only of surviving, but of posting a profit so that you can, become richer as you deserve, and you can reinvest part of your wealth into advancement of your own company and in hiring new personnel, in expanding its operations in other geographies. But also you will have to, as I say, take into consideration the desires and the expectations of the customers and the clients, because obviously we have to always remember that there's always more than one option in life. And so even customers, especially nowadays, particularly online, are very sophisticated and they can have multiple options to choose from. So it's very important that they perceive that your option is the option that would create a good, value for them. If they have to, give money to you, let them do it with a smile and convince that they also came out with a very nice deal, which is, I think, at the end of the day, the basis for a healthy relationship between your company and or your business and your clients, and it would keep the clients loyal to you over the long term, and it will keep them coming back for more products and more services as you will progress. Now, in terms of marketing channels, before we move to the last part and to the channels, and we've seen why advertising and public relations are, let's say, complementary actions to the marketing, but the marketing is the main umbrella, is an all-encompassing activity that includes within itself advertising and public relations. In fact, I repeat it once more, advertising and public relations can and must be deployed only after the marketing strategy has been devised. Because, as I say, they would be like the diplomacy before moving the army, but and the diplomacy will have to still move in line with what the objectives of that particular state are. So, and if the state is your business and the public relations is your diplomacy and advertising is your diplomacy, and as I say, the marketing strategy is the full army that will have to then fight for your objectives. How would the marketing funnel work so that from the moment that you have transmitted the notion and the concept of what you're doing, your customers can, get the sparkle and get motivated to action, which means motivated to buy your products and services. The first, imagine this as a funnel that has to create, the conditions for the customers to move to buy your product. So the first thing on top of this funnel, you have to create the awareness. And you can generate awareness through events, through blogs, through your website, through interviews, through a direct action on the street, on the shop, on the point of sale. Then this activity of yours, these efforts of yours will produce an interest in the consumer's mind, in the customer's mind. This interest has to become something more for the transaction to occur. The interest has to transform itself into the consideration, into really taking your product into the hands, or virtually into the hands if it's an intangible, and basically for the client to begin to pay attention to the product that you are promoting, that you are presenting, that you are marketing. This consideration has to be then sublimated to a higher level, which is the intent to buy. So the client has to begin to feel, to think, oh, I need this product. and the last push that the client has to receive is the push to purchase. So, okay, I need this product, but how much am I ready to pay for my satisfaction to be reached, for my a desire and my thirst to be quenched? And again, it boils back down to price. If you've priced your product correctly for the particular type of customers that you have in mind, this funnel, this series of efforts and activities will result into your client, taking out the wallet and pay the price that you have asked for the product. And you will have to be quite attentive, and probably you will have to try a few different types of funnels before you find which one is really the good one for you, because there will be a lot of adaptations depending also on geographies and regions, on the technical or technological performances that the products that you are manufacturing or selling contains. So you will have to go by trial and error, like every one of us in this field. Again, marketing is an art, not a science. But if you do your homework well enough, and you will receive a very clear indication of what your final funnel for a particular region and a particular product should look like, then without spending an inordinate amount of money and time. Now, in terms of marketing channels, as I said, we have seen in recent years with the advent of the internet, great, growth in what we would call alternative marketing channels. But these what we used to call alternative marketing channels are becoming predominant versus the traditional marketing channels that we mentioned back then, with advertising on TV, medias, and radio. As I say, now we have, and I'm just quoting from a slide that I have here in front of me, it's a marketing channel usage trend research that has been completed in 2017. And it's a survey of about 3,500 marketing leaders around the world. So it would give us an accurate idea of what type of channel has been used by the dominant players in the market very recently. And in 2018, 96% of the respondents plan to use the website. So the website it has become, and it's going to be also for you, a pivot, a key element, a cornerstone of your marketing strategy. Make sure that your website is up to not only standards, but also captures the philosophy and the business model, the mission that you want to present, and describes accurately the products and the services that you're selling. Because, as I say, it is where a lot of your clients will go to take a look at what it is that you do. 92% of the respondents in the survey have been indicating social media marketing as a key. So, as I say, the near entire universe of the respondents have declared that, yes, I do use and do marketing on social media, be they LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and what have you. There are several others that you can use, but those are some of the main ones. They are a fundamental component, I would say a fundamental arm of your hand that reaches the market. So you want to make sure that you have a robust social media marketing strategy in place. 89% of the respondents have indicated that they use email marketing. Back when we were using, letters, we were calling this direct marketing. Now it has entirely moved online because, of course, the costs are negligible compared to sending the letters, and you can, with a mail merge, you can send thousands of mails at once. Obviously, you want to make sure that you do not disturb inappropriately people, that you don't bombard categories that should not be offered your products, or that you don't just dilute the importance of what you're selling by using an indiscriminate shotgun approach, because as good as it is, the capability that the email distribution offers via the internet, by the same token, we can say that the dangers of this strategy backfiring and creating a lot of collateral damage to your activity is great if the email marketing is used inappropriately, in an illicit way, or anyway in let's say amateurish way. So you want to make very sure that you are, attentive to what you do. 87% of the respondents in this survey have been indicating that they use video advertising and mobile applications. And this is very, very interesting. I mean, the use of video messages is been really probably one of the greatest novelties that we have had, thanks to the technology in the last few years, because of the bandwidth haven't been increased, and we're using a system like Zoom and Ring Central and Google Meet and others that are very, very, very good, as well as YouTube, obviously, to disseminate our video information, our video presentations in a way that was simply unimaginable or very expensive up to a few years ago, by having to use similar system without the bandwidth that we have today. So this is obviously the technology is making so cheap to utilize medias that are so good, so advanced, so really state of the art, that it would be a great oversight not to take them into full consideration when you're creating your marketing strategy. Organic search, it's also very important, and that means a lot of data mining. It's probably one of the best marketing that you can use and that you can do, is to do the good data mining by trying to profile attentively your potential customers and clients, and 84% of the respondents in the survey have indicated that they do this type of activity. There's also some other activities that are used in this new methodologies and in new marketing channels that we have online. But as I say, to recap, I would say the most important ones today are the website, social media marketing, email marketing, video advertising and mobile advertising, and organic search. Those are strategies, those are tactics and channels that you have to use when you want to deploy your marketing strategy, very granular to a pre-identified universe of customers and clients. Well, the time that I have available is nearly over. I thank all of you for having participated in this chat, and actually I would like to make it a complete chat with you by being available to respond to your questions during the event. So please feel free to ask any question that you want to ask me during the event, and I will be here to address your questions. And if I cannot address it in person, I will address it online via email later. And thank you all for having been with me today. This is your host, Giampaolo Parigi, and you can reach me on LinkedIn or on email at giampaoloparigi1@gmail.com, or on my personal website, www.giampaoloparigi.com. And again, thank you all for being here, and enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you.